Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
Too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time. Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1-2-3 finish.
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
It's another track variety this week in week number 4 of the Chapman Cup Series. Setting up the first 3 weeks, we've had 3 different winners. It should be no different here in the desert. Live from Phoenix Raceway, it's the Chapman Environmental Services Cup Series live on Vspeed. Busch Light Lounge 250 at Phoenix Raceway. I'm your host, Bradley Cooper, alongside Alex Gagnon. And Alex, our camera pack's provided by Dougie Beard. A new update, fresh update here. I'm excited to get this one underway and try out these new camera angles. But what I'm most excited about is the variety of racetracks here to start the season off. We've had Daytona, we've had Atlanta, we had Circuit of the Americas, and now the 1 Mile Oval in the Mojave.
Yeah, this is, there's a lot of people who would say this is where the, quote, real season begins. After a couple of drafting-type tracks and then the road course last week at COTA, Phoenix, the first more traditional oval that we've got on the schedule. And I think this will be a really interesting time to see who's got some pace here on this flat-banked oval that's, you got a lot of room to rumble. It's mostly asphalt around here now. And that was not always the case, but in this most recent configuration, these restarts get a little wild because there's not a thing known as track limits around here.
Speaking of limitations, here's the look at the points, and it's limited on how far apart these drivers are. The gap there, a little confusing. We usually do this to the leader, but there's a 28-point gap between first and second place, and then it's tight all the way down through. A tie there for 6th position, but you go all the way back to Carter Lenz, who performed well last week, but jumped up a lot of spots to not perform well at Atlanta or Daytona.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big shuffle here, and you can see because of how shuffled things have been, honestly, things are still really tight through the main part of the pack here. I think this will be the first race we start seeing some people really start to get some separation and establish themselves on the left side of this point standings.
Well, we had a little bit of a late start. I apologize for that, but you know how things like to work and then not work 5 minutes before you go live. So let's go to your pull award here. Starting on the top spot this week, it's Jeremy Burns with that KLD Trucking pull award, and congratulations to the driver in the number 9 on getting that. We'll go through your grid as quickly as we can, but we're actually 1 to green already. So there's Rob Roeder starting to his outside. Then it's Carter Lenz and Brandon Pamitat starting in row number 2. Row number 3 has Dakota Floyd, Ryan Munoz, I think I'm going to get that one right one of these weeks. Grant Thorpe and Jacob Sirkovich. Then you have Michael Call and Matt Robinson rounding out your top 10. We'll just keep that grid scrolling at the bottom of your screen as we get set to go racing here live from Phoenix. Green flag is out and we're underway. 4 wide spread across the dog leg. Look at that.
They configured this place to have a really unique situation on these restarts. We saw it there, how wide they all fan out, but it looks like everyone gets through turns 1 and 2. No problems there.
36 cars on this racetrack this evening. 156 laps. 156 miles, half length, 50% fuel. There's a look at your starting lineup as we show the left-hand side. We'll bring those race analysis up on the screen there and show you 6 tire sets, 5 in the pits here today as we watch a battle for the lead. Jeremy Burns under fire. He was under fire at Coda as well, and the 53 was the car to hound him. It's the top 3 picking up where they left off last week.
Yeah, honestly, you could even say top 4, since Dakota Floyd was the 4th car in that mix for the longest time as well. So this is a very similar flavor to what we saw. Dakota's already, they're into each other, and into the wall goes Burns, the 53 sideways. He's trying to catch it, he won't, he's spinning down into the pit entrance. We stay green, but boy, they are nearly wrecking each other. I can't say nearly, they are wrecking each other for the top spot here in the opening couple laps.
The send up there to the wall, and the 53 gets into the door. He's able to loop it down off the racetrack. Nobody else involved, but a close call there for everyone behind. Roeder just overshoots the entry, slides up in front of his teammate, gets skimmed there by the 66, and it's to the back of the field for Roeder.
Yeah, that's a tough break for him, that there's no caution there for him to spin, but he's out of the racing line. So he'll have to wait until the stage here. So he's still on the lead lap, very much a part of his core group. But he's got some work to do here to just kind of stay in the mix until lap 30, where that stage is at. So a tough start to the 53's night here in Phoenix. Jeremy Burns, though, can't imagine he's too thrilled with that start either, because now he's got a little bit of damage that he's going to have to get repaired at the stage.
Looks pretty minimal, if any, there on that right front. Did skim the wall a little bit, minimal. But, you know, sometimes the suspension on these cars, we've seen that before where the suspension will break, but the panels are fine. Doesn't look like he's having an alignment issue, but Carter Lenz last time by about a 10th faster, reeling him in.
Yeah, starting to close that gap a little bit as they open up from the rest of the field by just a little bit here. Settling in, and you'll see now that some cars have gotten a few laps down, they're fully up to speed. The willingness to take the dog leg minimizes a little bit when you're up to full speed, just because sometimes getting off the banking and back onto it can unsettle the car if you're at top speed. So we see some people take it, some people aren't now, and even the folks who are taking it, they're not diving nearly as deep as they were earlier on in this race. So we'll take a look here as they make their way past the start-finish line. We see a lot of folks hitting down below the yellow, but only a couple of cars really dive in it deep. Normally they're only about a lane or two off from that yellow line here.
Not a lot of battles. It's single filed out a lot through this field already. Fred Pennington side by side with Daniel Holloway. Handyman on the inside will clear for that position, top 20, and here goes Sam Taylor to the inside, trying to pass for 21st.
Yeah, he's taking a look here to the inside, going to dive it onto the dog leg. And looks like he will temporarily have that spot. Just trying to close off the gap here to the 30 off of turn 2. Easier said than done, but he will slide on up. He'll take that spot away, and now he is up to the 21st position here on the racetrack, trying to make some moves early before that stage break.
It's Jeremy Burns holding the lead car on the wall in the background there just for a second. I think that was Fred Pennington who brushed the wall coming out of the dog leg. A little bit of right front damage. Side-by-side battle back here with Tyler Harrison. And he just got by Alex Forget a moment ago. This was actually the 54 of Caleb Gilbert and the 19 of Berube. And just behind that, Michael Bennett in the 14. Remember how fast he was at Circuit of the Americas. Car on the outside wall here. It's the 8. Brandon Richardson lost a ton of ground just now.
Yeah, they've Richardson and Orlando, I think they've gotten into each other a little bit here a couple times in the opening jump here. Take another look at the replay. Richardson kind of up toward that outside. And everything looks pretty good here through the middle of 1 and 2.
Not sure what exactly went wrong, but the 8 just appeared out of nowhere.
Yeah. Either way, earlier on, about 2 laps ago or so, I did see there was a little bit of contact between the 27 and the 8. Not that it really slowed down either of them, but definitely physical between those two drivers in the rear. So take a look here. There's Michael Reed going after Jeremiah Nelson for the 12th spot. And you got the points leader, Matt Robinson, working just behind him, battling Parker Johnston for the 14th spot. Johnston's going to take that spot away, no problem.
Dylan Picklesheimer looking for the 15th position, has the 13 of Al Likens. Almost 3 wide there off of turns 3 and 4. Likens thought about taking it there. And that's the 11 of Matt Robinson, who's going to end up losing a couple positions way up on the outside.
Yeah, Robinson trying to hold on to these spots right now. He's bleeding them pretty quickly, though. He's fallen down the running order a couple spots here in just the past few laps. You see Sam Taylor now digging to the inside. He's going to try to get past the 11. Justin Ritchie looking to do the same here. Robinson down to 20th. He was 14th just a couple laps ago. Wild how quickly that 11 car seems to be falling through the running order here.
55 on the inside, continuing to lose ground is Robinson. The 55 had it 3 wide there for a moment. Parker Johnston side by side on the outside of Likens. Positions gained or lost. Likens up 10 spots. Tyler Harrison, the biggest mover in this race so far, up 11. A little bit of side by side up closer to the front. There's Ryan Munoz in the 81 that Brandon Pamet's at. And the 87, trying to hold off Michael Call for the top 5.
Yeah, and Call's looking like he's about to take that top 5 spot from the 87 as he gets a good run off of 4. Carries that momentum down into 1. He's clear of the 87 for now. It's Justice Murphy.
Moves him out of the way.
Made a little bump and run situation here to Pametat as they make their way off of 2. They're now going down the back straight.
Just a little love tap to move him up the racetrack, but that's ultimately going to cost the 87 2 positions. He'll fall back to 7th, almost gets into the wall coming off of 4.
Yeah, nearly, but able to kind of keep it together, keep this thing rolling. On board here with Brandon Pametat, currently running in that 7th position, trying to get back up to Justice Murphy. You can also see in his rearview mirror, he's got a good bit of Grant Thorpe looming just behind him here as they make their way into 3.
On my side behind that for a moment, the 10 to the inside of Trevor Earhart. Earhart going to get a run going into 1 and 2. Take it to the outside. And that's kind of the preferred line right now. It seems like this track will migrate higher and higher as the race goes on.
Oh, Call
Scrape
got a
with the
big
wall.
piece of the wall there off of 2.
Track temperature 104 here today. 86 degrees on the air. Looked in the pre-race, it looked like the wind was coming out of the southwest, so hopefully that doesn't cause too much. It might have been what happened to Roeder when we saw that lead battle. You know, air really does mess with these cars, and they're aero dependent, so a little bit of wind on that turn 1 entry could have forced him up the racetrack. A little unpredictable. I'm not sure exactly what went wrong But since then, Rob Roeder has recovered back to the end of this field. He's in 29th now. Working on John Fike for 28th.
Yeah, just trying to get some track position back here. The stage is only in about 10 laps here. It's a pretty early stage tonight. So not a lot of time, no real consideration here of stage points for the 53. But the more positions you get now, the less you have to worry about off of pit road, as he's going to look to make it 3 wide maybe into turn 3. I don't think Fike's too thrilled about it. And they're now door to door, as Trevor Keith's going to roll on by them both. But boy, that was a daring move there from Roeder.
Close call there. Fike back out of it as soon as he saw the move. He backed out in the entry of 3 and 4. Car in the wall, that's the 3 of Sam Taylor. And running out of laps here as the battle for the lead is spread about 0.8 of a second. Top 3 with Burns, Lenz, Floyd. You have the 81, Ryan Minaz, Michael Call, Justice Murphy, Pamitat, Grant Thorpe, Trevor Earhart, and Jeremiah Nelson in the 31, your top 10.
And the 31 is looking for more here. He's right to the back bumper of Earhart, trying to make something happen as they're battling with Thorpe. Only a couple laps left in the stage, but a lot of positions potentially up for grab as they're all reeling in Brandon Pamitat here, 7th through 10th, getting stuck together here. An opportunity to potentially gain a couple points here before the stage break. Just depends on how this plays out over the next 5 laps or so.
Well, Harrison continuing to pick up spots. Maybe a botched qualifying effort for the 45, but now up 15 positions. Caleb Gilbert close to that with 14 spots gained. So these 2 cars on the move from deep in this field.
Yeah, up 14 positions already for Caleb Gilbert. As you see here, he goes past Daniel Holloway. He's glued himself to the back bumper right now of Sam Taylor in the 3. So they go into 3 and 4, trying to pick off a couple more cars here in the last couple laps of this stage. Tyler Harrison, Parker Johnston, good little battle going. Harrison also a big mover early. He's up 15 spots, now make it 16 spots in the opening 26 laps.
I saw it there in the chat just before this stage break. I want to give a shout out here to the Commodore 64. A little bit of front end damage there on Ben Lapter, but back at 32nd position. Rough start to the day. And it stayed rough. Stuck in the same spot. Hopefully this stage break will get that damage fixed up and give him a chance to get back up front. Picklesheimer, DeKalb side by side in a 1. Car way down the racetrack.
Wow.
That was Michael Reed who had to hold on.
I don't know from that camera angle. I think he kept it off the wall. But boy, he shot down the racetrack coming off of turn 2. I'm not entirely sure what happened. Let's take a look here as they make their way off of 2. Oh, Grant Thorpe comes off the wall there. Hits the wall, makes contact with the 91. Fantastic save from Reed to keep that off the inside wall here. Unbelievable stuff to keep himself in striking position here just before the stage break, because boy, that could have been catastrophic to his chances tonight.
He's had a couple of those moments. Was running well at Coda, then you saw the contact that took him out of that race. Just been kind of wash, rinse, repeat. Has a good solid car, could definitely get a top 10, but instead we end up talking about Reed later in the race on pit road with damage.
Yeah, so here we go as they make their way on to lap 30. This should be the final lap here of the opening stage. Jeremy Burns has led it since the drop of the green flag here. Got dicey on the 3rd lap in that contact with Roeder, and now he's holding a 7/10 second advantage over Carter Lenz. Clinical from the 9 here in the opening 30.
And not really any positions contested here. Grant Thorpe, the closest to losing this top 10, but looks like he's going to hold on to it. And a car in the wall, that was Brandon Pamitat, as that will do it for stage number 1.
Yeah, nicely. I mean, Jeremy Burns, I mean, didn't talk a ton about him after the contact with Roeder, but I mean, there was just not a whole lot happening at the front. He put his head down. He did what he needed to do. He's led every lap here of the opening group. Carter Linz, very similar to last week. Lockstep there with the 9 every step of the way. Dakota Floyd, Ryan Munoz, Michael Collier, top 5. Strong drive there from the 81 to keep himself in a good spot here for some good stage points. Same with the 5 of Michael Call.
So there's your top 10 that will get stage points awarded, with Burns, Linz, and Floyd on the top 3. We'll lead them down pit road with their stage winner.
Yeah, this is an opportunity. I believe everybody's going to be coming down pit road this time. Put some fresh tires on it, because this is a hot track. The hot track will start chewing up these tires if you let them sit on there too long, especially with the lack of banking. It really starts sliding them if you're not careful. So, an opportunity, put 4 fresh tires on, top yourself off of fuel, and get back out on the racetrack. Can't imagine we'll see too many varying strategies on this stop.
There's a look at everyone hitting their stall here. We'll watch the race off of pit road to see if the 9 can retain the lead. Carter Linz was close behind here. We watch the exit of pit road. A lot of cars coming. Linz not able to get it done.
Michael Call gained the spot there.
Got back to 4th.
Yeah, Call jumped, I believe jumped Munoz there on pit road. 15.1 to a 14.4. That's 0.7 of a second, the difference in getting Michael Call a spot on the racetrack here. So a good stop for the 5 team and puts him in a good spot here, second row on the restart.
More coverage continues of stage number 2. Live here from Phoenix, the Chapman Cup Series will be back right after this.
Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Just as we came back, a caution flag flies in the back of this field. I believe it was Justin Ritchie to the inside wall here after stage 2 began. A little jump there by race control, went 1 to green there. I thought we had plenty of time for a quick break, but let's take it back on the replay and see what happened.
Yeah, definitely some nose damage here to the 55, as it looks like him, Roeder, Forget all collected in this. Let's see if we can figure out what happened here. Oh, it starts way further up in the field. Looks like that might be Sam Taylor who's around. Then Forget and Roeder parked at pit entry. Wonder if we can jump up to see what was happening with the 53 or the 19. Oh, starts here. Nelson goes around. It looks like just a lot of cars started wrecking simultaneously here, going through turns 1 and 2.
Check
starts up there. Yeah, Nelson, Stewart, and a third car. And then a couple more cars kind of collected in the aftermath of there for Jet, Ritchie, and Roeder.
Things go from bad to worse for Roeder. He'd worked his way back up towards the top 20, but ends up in that calamity, and now it's back to around 31st position for Roeder. Kyle Diaz, Justin Ritchie. I believe the 31 of Jeremiah Nelson involved in that as well. What happened to Jeremiah Nelson? He was up towards the top 10, so I don't know if he got maybe a bad pit stop to get himself back that deep in the field. Looks
yeah,
like he had
I'm not entirely
in the box, maybe.
Yeah, maybe a long stop there, maybe a penalty. For how relatively clean the opening 30 laps was, I'm not shocked that our first incident comes in 1 and 2, because you have so many cars who are A, getting up to speed off the restart, but then B, all kind of converging. I mean, during the dog leg, you can run that 4 or 5 wide, no problem, but you get back to 1 and 2, you got to condense that down to about 2 lanes tops. And you start running out of real estate really fast, and if you do not hit that corner right and you check up or you find any sort of wheel spin, the guy behind you, especially on these restarts with how close people are running, they will run you over because there's just nowhere else to go. And I have a feeling that was a little bit of what we saw there on that incident.
Getting set, ready back to go green here with Jeremy Burns, Carter Lenz, Dakota Floyd still your top 3. Michael Call on the inside, or outside rather, of Dakota Floyd. Need 5 spots to be up here. Green flag back underway. Lenz a challenge for the lead there just a moment ago, but wasn't able to complete the pass. This time might be different as he's going to stay to the outside of the 9.
Yeah, he's trying to hang to the outside door, give himself a chance. A little bit of wall contact, though. That's not going to help. But he's still pulling alongside Burns here as they go into 3 and 4. He is going for it as they come across the stripe. I believe they're still going to be side by side here.
Going to try it again into 1. Michael Call gets to the inside of Dakota Floyd through this portion. Still can't complete it. Will he brush the wall again? He's going to squeeze the 9. Just barely hangs on the right rear.
Yeah, still hanging tough. It's a tough place to be, though, the outside, when there's so much more room to try to make a pass here to the inside, whether it's the dog leg or to 1 and 2. So he's valiant effort, but he is definitely burning up his stuff as he actually makes the move here. Burns did not get through the dog leg cleanly, and he's going to take the lead here. Carter Lenz to the point for the first time here tonight, and he's got himself a little bit of room to rumble.
And there's Michael Reed trying to make a pass on Brandon Pamitat in the 8th position. Contact between the 87 and 91 there as they enter the dog leg. He'll squeeze him up the racetrack and make more contact. The 41 slides up into front of him,
man.
And the caution's out.
Big time wreck for 2 cars that have been really fast tonight. They've been in the top 10 all night long. Pamitat and Earhart, I don't know if the 41 just lost it or if he had some help there going into 1 and 2, because it was very physical between Reed and Pamitat just behind him. But I don't know if either one of them was close enough to make contact with the back bumper of the 41 here.
Yeah, I think the 87 got into the back of him. It was close. We'll watch it one more time from another angle. I would venture to say, based off that angle, the 87 did run into the back of the 41. This is after contact with Reed.
Oh, yeah. So the car unstable from the contact from the 91 gets a piece of the 41's bumper and kind of slides up the track right in front of him, nowhere to go. So that's a tough break for Earhart and Pamitat because they have been really fast tonight. but unfortunately now they've definitely got some damage that they're going to have to work out, especially the 41.
87 going to focus down pit road here. Grant Turner also coming in to pit. John Fike following in. Justin Ritchie. A lot of these cars trying to repair some damage from that earlier caution. It's Carter Lenz who takes over the top spot here today, and you also got Jeremy Burns on the outside this time around. The command car will be the 66. First time we've seen a lead change tonight. Not to say these restarts, though, might create more of them.
Yeah, we're starting to see that a little bit here. A couple of consecutive cautions just after restarts. Keeps this field all bunched up and kind of gets the nerves high because, you know, if things are starting to go wrong here on these restarts, well, the caution comes out and you have no choice but to do another restart. And I think you might start getting in your own head a little bit about like, all right, well, I got to make sure we keep this one clean. But also, you know, this is easily the best time to make up position on the racetrack. So, you know, it's that risk reward, and sometimes it pays off and you make some serious track position up, and sometimes it doesn't, and you end up finding yourself up in the fence. So, you know, for every Carter Lenz making a pass on the outside for the lead, we have that incident that just happened.
So doubling back up here on lap 46 out of 156. 2 cautions, and one of those cautions a little bit bigger than the other one. Just now saw about 4 or 5, or actually the caution before that saw about 4 or 5 cars. This one, most recently, just 2 cars involved. You also had an incident there on the first couple laps with Jeremy Burns and Rob Roeder. Of course, our stage at lap 30. Jeremy Burns, your stage 1 winner to the outside, as we'll watch the 66 tee it off here for our fourth restart, actually, of the day. Pace car out of the way and very spread out here, so I think they're gonna flag this one off. Pace car's gonna come back out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I mean, you could see it coming off of turn 4. There was probably about a 4-car length gap between Lenz and Michael Call, and that's only for the front of the field. I mean, the back of the field had not really gotten it all assembled. So they're going to give it another lap here, try to get this thing sorted, as we see Fred Pennington now on pit road. Work being done on that 30 machine.
Let's try it again. '66 of Lenz on the top spot. Burns, Call, Floyd, Murphy. Biggest mover so far in this race. Caleb Gilbert, 21 spots gained. Back underway at Phoenix, stage 2.
Here we go. Michael Call with a good bit of speed. He's right to the inside of Burns here for second. Tell you what, on these restarts, the 5 has looked really, really sharp. And he may not be done yet. He might have his eyes set on trying to take away the race lead here from Carter Lenz.
Michael Call, 7 positions gained, still on the move. In a podium spot, wants the top step. 66 just ahead, trying to take away that clean air. And what a send down here by Call. He's going to get to the inside, hugging the yellow.
Yeah, he's been really strong on these restarts. It looks like that number 5 machine's got a good bit of pace to it as he continues to really drive it in there, seeing if he can find something on Lenz. Here comes Burns back on the outside, trying to make something happen, but he's not alone, as they are 3 wide for third for a moment there. Floyd and Munoz right in the picture as well, as they all condense into 1 and 2.
So have a battle for the 10th position. Parker Johnson trying to take it away from Sam Taylor. Car on the wall. It was Grant Thorpe just ahead of him. Another dive to the inside for the lead, but looks like Lenz closes the door.
That he does, as Dakota Floyd taking a peek to the inside of Burns here for third. They cleared the 81. Now it's a 2-horse race for third. Now maybe make it a 3-horse race for second, as Burns taking a peek to the outside again here of Michael Call. No avail through 1 and 2 as the 5 just finds enough room to slide up there and hold on to that spot for now. And some good battling going on right now in the top 5. Back off of turn 2. Michael Reed to the inside of Munoz here for the 5th spot, trying to squeeze his way on the inside. Maybe the slightest bit of contact between the 91 and the 81 there. As we jump on board with Michael Reed, as he gears up for another attack here against the target machine.
Watching these guys shift back and forth, trying to get as much turn off the corner as they can. That downshift can really set the nose. But everybody doing it versus a couple of cars doing it, it's kind of a different line here when you get up to the top 5. It doesn't work quite as well. Reed has been utilizing this downshift pretty well to get up here, but now it gets a little bit harder and a little bit tighter as they go through 1 and 2. Little contact.
Yeah, Michael Reed keeps knocking on the inside door here of Munoz, trying to find out if he can slide on by. He wasn't able to, but now Kyle Stewart, ever the advantageous driver here, he's going to slide up in front of the 91. He'll take away that 6th spot, and he'll now try to take a run at the 81. As Reed has to battle now with Justice Murphy for the 7th position. And he is not clear yet off of 2. The 12 hanging tough on the outside. Good side-by-side battle in the 3.
Reed trying to get back to the throttle, kind of repeatedly goosing the throttle to try to see if that car's going to rotate. And man, they are not leaving each other any room through the dogleg. 91's going to send and slide up in front of the 12. Maybe a crossover here down the back stretch. Yes.
Yeah, Reed's got it. Murphy now looking to the inside, trying to take that spot back. Easier said than done, but good positioning here as the 91 comes across the nose. He'll hold on to that spot for now. Murphy going to now settle back in, maybe try to cool off the tires a bit. Try to see if he can remount an attack here as Reed sets his sights off to Kyle Stewart. More battling here in the top 10, and just a little further back, there's Bennett to the inside there, I believe, of Rob Rader, as you can see from the sky cam.
And how much of a recovery here for Rob Rader. He was involved in the first incident that didn't bring out a yellow. Had a problem there just a moment ago where he got hit in the side by the 55 and still has a car that's raced its way back to 14th.
Yeah, he's had a really strong recovery here. We know the 53's had a lot of pace. We know he's had a lot of pace at this very track. You know, multi-time champion, and under that old format, this was the championship track. This guy has been really, really fast here. And he's showing why right now as he continues to try to work his way through the field back to the front.
Reed going to go to the inside. A lot of racing outside the top 10, but here's one in the top 10 for the 6th spot. Reed back on offense. The struggle in there a moment ago. Going to take it all the way down pit road, cut to that blue cone, and he's able to dive and take that position away from the 10.
Now, to his credit, Kyle Stewart went all the way down there as well. They both got really deep through the dogleg there. Reed just got a better drive off. He'll take the spot as we jump on board with Picklesheimer. Trying to make something happen here on the inside. Currently running the 18th spot, battling, I want to say, with the 88 of Sirkovich there for this position on the racetrack right now. And this is a good point of view to see kind of what it's like when you're running in the middle of the pack here at Phoenix. Every corner, every time you have the opportunity to go on the offensive, right behind you, someone's doing the same thing, and there's never really a chance to breathe.
Not only that, but you have guys that are on offense in front of you going side by side. So If you don't make that pass or you can't get to the inside, somebody else will, and it can hold you up. So now he's in a situation where the 88 might be a little bit slower, but because the 14 and 15 can't sort it out, he has to change his line.
Yeah, he got a little higher, I think, than he would have liked there with the 14 checking up in this battle with the 15. Going to get to the outside, though, of Bennett. And he'll take that spot away, or at least he has the nose ahead here going into 3. Not fully clear yet. He continues to work on that spot for P17 on the racetrack.
Lead's starting to shrink back up. It was around 4 or 5 tenths a moment ago, down to 3 tenths as they go through 3 and 4. Carter Lynn, still your leader. He's now led 23 laps. It was Jeremy Burns who led the entirety of stage 1. Carter Lynn's coming up on the most laps led here with about 6 more.
Yeah, he's starting to put together a good run here. Tell you what, Michael Caldos kept him honest. He's not let him get away. Burns has laid in weight as well behind the 5. And these 3 are now starting to get a little bit of separation from the rest of the field as Munoz, Reed, and Floyd starting to fall back just a touch. You see here, Reed and Floyd battling it out right now for the 5th spot on the racetrack. That 91 has been pretty fast here today. He's found a lot of success getting down to the bottom of the racetrack, running that yellow line, downshifting when he's needed to, getting that car to rotate pretty good, and he's worked his way into the top 5 because of it.
Seems to be working so far. He was losing ground a moment ago, but maybe an adjustment on the entry points. You change your line up a little bit. I can make up 2 or 3 tenths very quickly. So Michael Reed into the top 5. Parker Johnston, Caleb Gilbert. Johnston starting to hemorrhage a couple spots, still up 12, but the biggest mover of the race to his inside for a moment off of 2.
Good battle going here. Starting to work their way up the racetrack. Al's right in the tire tracks of Gilbert here as they cross the line. A lot of cars still really getting down on the dogleg here. Good sign that the car must be handling all right still. As you see, Roeder going to try to slide it on in there right in front of the 24. Looks like he'll take that spot away. Al's got way up to the wall there on 1 and 2. Left the door wide open for the 53 to send it to the inside.
.45 up into the wall there. Tyler Harrison, he was way up the racetrack through the dog leg, and I think he lost a couple spots just now. 45 get past there. Picklesheimer's going to go by. I think Trevor Keith got around him as well. Not sure what went wrong for Tyler Harrison just now, but now we'll get back to the outside of the 33. I think a couple of these moments that we've seen where a car just appears out of nowhere is them trying to cut that dog leg and that transition. You have to do it just right or we'll send the car back up the racetrack and you got to chase it.
We'll take a look here into 3. Picklesheimer, Harrison back at it again. Good battle going as they come across the line side by side. Picklesheimer deep into the dog leg. Harrison staying up on the racetrack as they'll stay alongside each other here going in the 1 and 2. They're just about on top of Trevor Keith here as well as a little bit of contact between the 33 and the 15. Might open the door for Harrison to slide on by, and he will.
A little tap there into 1. Picklesheimer got into the back of Keith. Allows the 45 to complete the pass. Just ahead of him now, it's Caleb Gilbert and Alex Forget Berube in the 15th position.
Yeah, good battle going for Jet, trying to work the outside here. Up into the wall, though, goes the 19. That's going to cost him a little bit of speed. That lets Harrison get right up to him as well. Caleb Gilbert down on that yellow line, trying to get that car to rotate, trying to get some forward momentum going. Is just in front of them as well. Alves loses a spot to Parker Johnston. As Caleb Gilbert trying to hold off Tyler Harrison right now.
That's Grant Thorpe and the 3. of Sam Taylor, who's going to get a great run off of 2, complete that pass. Just behind that, Rob Roeder on the move, and the caution is out. It's the 8 of Brandon Richardson around.
I think there's a timely caution for some of these folks who may have been really burning up their stuff here. To take the onboard here with the 8. Doesn't look too worse for wear. Is Richardson going to hydrate a little bit? Get back at it. That certainly does not feel like a good place to be. Yeah. Boy, they were all on top of each other there through 1 and 2. Kept it off the wall, though. That's a good sign there for the 8. I'm not really sure what happened there, but there was really nowhere for Richardson to go. He kind of got stuck after the 13 got a little bottle up there in 1 and 2. And they were running side by side behind him, so in their battle for position, they weren't going to be cutting the 8 any favors here. And unfortunately, he's going to send Richardson for a bit of a spin, but doesn't look like any significant contact here to the Richardson machine, so he'll be able to probably have a normally timed stop here with the rest of them and get back out there.
So everybody down pit road for this one. Race off of pit road. Michael Call gets out ahead of Jeremy Burns. Stays in the 2nd spot. Carter Lenz will remain your leader. Michael Reed up to 4th. Dakota Floyd, the top 5. While we have a moment here, say we find one of these drivers on the racetrack. I've been seeing you in the chat, I promise. I've been seeing you, just haven't had the opportunity. And I know that he's had a moment here in this race to repair some damage, didn't want to interfere with pit road, but we'll try to pull him in here now. Actually, the pace car is coming around, so hopefully he can get the car back out on the racetrack in time. Be close here. Really close.
Ooh. I think he got out in front of him, but that is that's a tough one to gauge.
There's a minute 23 in the box there. Well, they're already doubling back up. It's very quick cautions here today for whatever reason. So they've been doubling back up faster than I can actually get these guys up into the booth.
Yeah, they are not wasting any time here under yellow, it feels.
No. Well, 1 mile racetrack that's treated like an intermediate. That's the iRacing way.
Yeah. If it's less than a mile, it's one thing. If it's a mile and a half or more, that's a whole different thing.
Well, here we go with Lenz, Call, Burns, and Reed. We'll try to get Pamatat up here in the broadcast booth, but we're back underway at Phoenix. Excellent jump there for the 66 of Lenz, but it is chaos back here for second on back.
Yeah, it's getting dicey here on the restart too. Oh, someone's around in the back of the field. Don't know who it was, but someone was sideways, I believe. Yep, the 31 of Jeremiah Nelson. He's going to get rolling again. We stay green because the 31, I suppose, spun out of the racing line. Hectic opening lap here off the restart. Is now 4 Jets around. Oh, and that is going to bring out a yellow because he was right in the middle of the pack there, right through the middle of the racing line. Which I suppose works out for Nelson. He gets put right back into the back here. But yeah, Forget, I don't even think he had any help there. I think he just lost the back end there trying to put the throttle down off of 4.
Watch here on the blimp camera. Car stepping out off the exit. 45 gets into him. 21's into the wall.
That's a tough break for Holloway.
Daniel Holloway rips the front nose piece off the car.
It is now modified season here in Phoenix. It's a hot day, though. Might help the car cool off a little bit more. A little more fresh air getting to the engine, but you know, definitely not to make light of the fact that that's a tough break. You know, the last thing you want to have is your car get junked in a wreck that you were not a part of, just trying to avoid what happened in front of you.
These cars going to come back down pit road, so I really, really want to pull him up here, but I also don't want to mess with his communication to his team.
Yeah, especially on the stop. You know, we try to usually get people while they're pacing, not necessarily under pit road conditions. So we will find a time to talk to Brandon Pamitat, just hopefully not one when he's actively making his pit stop.
Yeah, hopefully it's post-race in the top 3 for his sake. And a lot of these drivers with damage or incident here. The 8 of Richardson getting back out on the racetrack. There's Alex Forget, who had the most recent spin. And we'll take a look here at the 45 car. It doesn't look like he picked up any damage. We'll try to get a look at that nose. That's the part of the car that bumped into the 19. Looks clean right now.
Yeah, so far so good, it looks like, in that sense. Honestly, there's been a couple of the cautions today where the cars have honestly looked in pretty good shape, all things considered. That one not as much for Holloway on the most recent one, but by and large, some of the cautions have just been kind of some spins that people have been able to keep off the wall, which has helped keep most of the field here kind of on the racetrack in one piece and moving the right direction.
So it's the 66 and the 5 who have been pretty outstanding here today. Thought it was going to be another one of those Jeremy Byrne runaway races. Usually when he wins stage 1, he goes off and leads 90% of the race. Hasn't been the case here. A little bit off for the 9, and once you get back in that dirty air, it gets more and more difficult. Interested to see on this restart if Burns can get back to the lead. So we are past the halfway mark. Phoenix.
Curious to see what Call's got here on the restart. He's been running lockstep with Linz that last segment or so, but he's been really, really good on the restarts here tonight. Does this open the door for the 5 to get to the front?
Doors are open. Green flag is out. We're back underway. Let's see if Call can get around Linz. Dive to the inside again here from the 9 of Burns. They're going to look 3 wide for the lead. Linz holds on to it. Call gets really close to the wall, but clears.
Now Dakota Floyd going to try to follow him through. Here in this battle for third, Floyd to the outside of Burns as they make their way to the stripe. Looks like he's got the spot for now. Here comes Michael Reed into the scene as well as the yellow's out further back in the pack.
It's a big one here through the dog leg. 13 of Likens is involved. There's a car at the very end of the field here. I believe that was Kyle Stewart who was turned around. Heavy damage
Sam
on the
Taylor.
front end.
Yeah, Sam Taylor's got some significant front end damage as well. Kyle Stewart was running here up in the top 10. Very similar to what happened to Forget a moment ago, just the back end stepped out on him off of 4. But that caused a chain reaction here as Tyler Harrison has to hit the wall a little bit to avoid Rob Roeder, who just gets beached here right up in the... yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. Probably should have just let traffic pass there, Rob. But he's going to get that thing sorted out. But he is one of several cars around here in the dogleg. Al Likens part of that as well. Let's take a look here at the 10. Yeah, same as Forget, just kind of lost the back end. Oh, the Sam Taylor incident's completely unrelated here. Also off of turn 4, but he collects a couple of cars completely unrelated to what happened there to Kyle Stewart. We'll take a look here one more time with the 3. You see that kind of unfolding there is, wow, John Fike sliding through there.
Yeah, and I want to get an on board with the 45 when we have a chance here. This is one of those get skinny moments.
That's
where
when you
you
just gotta
going,
hold
Rob?
your breath and... Oh boy. You're trying to get through the door, but you're carrying something. Gotta inhale all that air.
You got 6
exhale all
bags
that.
and the dog's jumping on you.
And you're just like, please let me get in the door. After that, all bets are off, but I gotta get in the doorway.
Back down pit road again, trying to repair that damage. So There's the 87 looking at him. I guarantee you if I pull him in the booth, he's going to yell at me. He's going to be upset. He's asking his teammates right now. He's got the 81 and the 44 out on the racetrack, and he's asking, where is the pace car? Where is the pace car? That's all I care about right now.
Trying to get as much of that damage repaired before the pace car comes around. That way he holds on to a lead lap position while maximizing the amount of damage repair on pit road. You see the pace car just in the rear view there, and that's when he lets it loose. So definitely, I'm sure, still some more damage repair that needs to be done to the 87, but this string of cautions has allowed him to repair a lot of that damage over the past few laps here. Gotta say, this is also going to be interesting on this restart, Bradley. This is the furthest back we've seen Jeremy Burns restart here today. Granted, it's only fourth, but now on the outside, not on the front row, his options are going to be a lot more limited than what we've seen on these restarts previously.
Yeah, he's going to have dirty air from every angle now for these restarts, and we know how the dog leg is. Everybody jumps to the inside. And you can see Floyd riding the back bumper of Lynn's right now. I think we're about to get a little bit more aggressive. The intensity dial is turned up to 11 as we're well past that halfway point. Lap 86 back underway. Into the restart zone we go. Phoenix, week 4. Fireworks continue. Lynn's dives it down to the inside of the dog leg. Battle for fourth.
Big battle for fourth here as Floyd going to lose that spot to Burns. Meanwhile, Michael Call got a great run into turn 1. He's going to have the lead here off of turn 2. New leader, car number 5. Michael Call to the point here on lap 86. These restarts have been his bread and butter all night, and he has been able to capitalize on one big time here. He's got some clean air now on the nose of that race car.
7 cautions now as the caution flag flies for another time here this evening. Sam Taylor around.
This night has gone from bad to worse here for the 3. He's been caught up in a couple of incidents, most recently the one just before this. You can see the damage from the...
Way out ahead of him is where this starts.
Boy, this has been a night to forget as well if you're Rob Rader, man. That's, I think, the 4th time we've seen him around.
And again, an unrelated, sort of related incident for the 3.
Yeah, that's a weird bit of parallels that I'm sure neither one of them wanted to replicate. What happened here to the 3? Oh, I don't know if he actually made contact there with Nelson or if that was just a bit of net curve. Either way, sends him around and turning what's been a frustrating day, I'm sure, to even more so.
We'll go back one more time and see what happened to Rob Rader. He was forced kind of 3 wide. There was some contact out ahead with the 44 and 14. He gets forced 3 wide, 39 to the inside. And for all the spins that Raiders had, somehow that car hasn't been ran over.
Yeah, miraculous, truly. You can only, pull that slot machine so many times, though, before something goes wrong. He's got a crazy hot streak going right now, though, because he's spun up in the traffic 2 or 3 times now, and somehow has walked away unscathed each and every time.
We're going to take a quick commercial break here for the Chapman Cup Series. We'll take you side by side under yellow. Back with more coverage of the Busch Light Lounge 250 in just a moment.
JS Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
JS Racing.
Real quick, you both stop real quick, double check the steering wheel. Roller.
Gentlemen, start your engine.
Nice and smooth, get it all done all day long. Got a good feeling about today, guys.
Donnie Kite's gonna get through it all and score his first career win in the Saturday Night Racing League Cup Series. What a finish!
It's too little, too late from behind, and Sebastian Marin, your first repeat top split winner of the qualifying series.
We knew it was just a matter of time when Hunter Sr. is victorious.
Josh Adams taking the win at Iowa.
Juicy Spider Motorsports takes home the 1, 2, 3 finish.
Back here live at Phoenix Raceway is an overhead view of the very scenic Avondale, Arizona. We've had a lot of cautions here in this second stage. Stage 1 winner Jeremy Burns, 8 cautions, 2 lead changes. 3 different leaders here. Burns leading the first 30, and then we had Carter Lentz for about 30, and then Michael Call took it away. On about 3-4 restarts ago. He's held the lead since then. It's been pretty good racing, but, you know, it's kind of hard to pass cars when the caution's out. Jeremy Burns worked his way back to second after that last restart went wrong for Lenz.
Yeah, that has very much been the theme here. Is it's been tough to make any forward progress when, you know, there's not really been a lot of opportunity to really get up to speed. But, you know, they're figuring it out, and the one guy who really has been figuring it out has been Michael Call. That's why I think he's in the lead right now. He's been able to make those passes on these restarts. As we'll take a look here at a quick replay. Taking a look here at Justin Ritchie, Alex Forget.
Actually, have to recycle this replay. This is where things went wrong.
Oh, yeah, Parker Johnson, Kevin Orlando Jr. around. The 27 goes sideways. That's what brought us out to the most recent caution while we were side by side.
There's the contact with the 48 and the 15, the 27, 90-degree angle in the 1 and 2, and that'll trigger the yellow every time. Back into the restart zone with Michael Call. Jeremy Burns back to the outside. There's Michael Reed and Carter Lentz side by side as the green flag is back out. And a big jump here for the 5. Lentz back to the inside for second, and 3 wide behind him.
Yeah, it's fanning out big time now. Taking a look here, Lentz, Burns, the battle for second. Michael Reed trying to be a part of it as well, just behind him. And all of this is what Michael Call gets a big jump there. 3 wide down the backstretch behind them. Ben Laughter caught in the middle of it.
And the car sideways in front of him, a little bit of tire smoke. I believe there was contact with the 91 of Reed onto the back of the 57. 3 wide again.
Yeah, now Thorpe to the high side of Floyd and Reed trying to make this one happen. 4th, 5th, and 6th. Reed with a nice little stab at the throttle there, and 2's going to get the spot. Floyd going to be back on the attack. Here they go. Rob Roeder, Joe Joya battling deeper in the pack here.
And Reed's around.
Oh, and he is hard into the wall. Someone nearly flipping.
15.
Oh, Trevor Keith got airborne. That car is absolutely devastated. We're going to be under the yellow, I believe, for the 9th time here tonight. That was easily the most dramatic yellow we've had, though, as Trevor Keith gets some hang time here after this contact with Michael Reed. Starts up here in the battle for 4th between him and Dakota Floyd. Man.
Dial it back up here for a moment. It was a hard hit.
An incredibly hard hit.
And it was
Oh, go ahead.
I think it was just a lap prior, the 57 and 91 had made contact, so Floyd did not give any room to Reed there in the entry of 3 and 4. But yeah, Keith going airborne. Let's watch an onboard here with the 57 if we can.
It starts here, just either netcode or the slightest bit of contact between Reed and Floyd. At least from that angle, it was hard to tell where the contact might have been. But man, he got way up there. It's a hard hit there. And that's not too often on a track with low banking like this. You see a car get that much hang time.
A lot of damaged cars out of the race. We've got cars a lap down. Michael Reed, of course, on pit road. Trevor Keith probably done for the day. Kyle Stewart, Trevor Earhart 2 laps down. Fred Pennington 4 laps down. You have John Fike out of the race, Al Likens, Daniel Holloway, and Kyle Diaz, all with a DNF here. Sam Taylor getting damage repaired. There's the 81 who caught some of that damage. Still repairing damage for the 87. Ben Lapter back out onto the racetrack after getting his car fixed up. Man, it's been a race of attrition here as we double back up. Only 25 cars still in the lead lap.
Yeah, it has very much been a battle of attrition to this point. I mean, we are starting to see a lot of cars, especially in the back half of the field, just really get torn up here. And it's usually stuff that's coming from the front. A few cars miss, and then someone who's just unlucky gets caught up in the middle of it from something that happened about 10 spots in front of them. That seems to be a running theme here tonight, and it has gotten a lot of cars into some trouble.
Call and Lynn still in the front row. Burns back to 3rd. How about the 12 of Justice Murphy? Creeping closer and closer to the podium. With about 56 laps to go, and it will be 56 when we cross the stripe. Another jump here for the 5. Back underway at Phoenix.
Good launch there for the 55 as they are 5 wide through the dog leg. And you got to commend the bravery because, you know, even with the amount of cautions, it's not stopping them from going out there and trying to get every spot they can on these restarts. You see they fly by here on the back straightaway. Linz and Burns side by side for 2nd briefly. Looks like Linz is going to take that spot away. Now to the inside of Call for the race lead. Carter Linz going back after it here in the turn 1.
Backs up and takes a wide entry into 1 and 2. Has the preferred line to stay ahead of the 66. Going to use all of that racetrack on the exit. Lynn's going to pitch him up near the wall. Dive into 1. Now a dive into 3 and 4.
Side by side off of 4. Diving down to the dog leg now is Linz. Looks like he's got that spot. He will take the lead away. Back to the front goes the 66. Call settles into 2nd. And now Burns and Floyd side by side for the 3rd spot just behind him.
Back to clean air here. for Carter Lenz. He's been running a really good race. Got a podium last week, looking to get a win to follow it up.
Yeah, came up just a little bit short. Remember back to last week, Burns had about a 2-second lead till he overshot turn 9 at Coda. Brought Lenz right back into the picture where he was literally within arm's reach of the lead. Wasn't able to get the job done there though. And now he is in prime position to right that wrong and get to victory lane for the first time this season here with just over 50 laps to go. That 66 has been bad fast all day long.
And the action continues. How about this recovery? Brandon Richardson in the number 8. Back up to the top 15. Battling on the outside of Parker Johnston. Has the 44 just in front of him. He could gain 2 spots here. He's going to get a good run off of 2. And we'll take it back to the outside. 44. Malcolm Simpson trying to hold it. 3 wide.
Oh, 3 wide battle here. Johnston gonna slow, and Richardson gets tagged by Simpson. Good save though by the 8. We stay green as Richardson stays off the wall. Big time save there from the 8. He's trying to go back up through the gears. I don't think he's too thrilled about that one.
I don't figure. We'll watch it on board here. Watch the contact when they get thrown 3 wide. Be off the dog leg. The 44 just kind of creeps up into him. Good save. Excellent save there from the 8. 66 with the lead. Top 3. Pretty much single file all the way back to Grant Thorpe in 8th position.
Yeah, everyone trying to find a little bit of real estate to work in here, but Tyler Harrison, he is starting to dent up the front of that 45, trying to get past the 77 here at Grant Thorpe. See that Camry nose bent in just a little bit here. Oh, and the caution's out further back in the pack. Coming off of turn 4, I believe it was.
The car down low, I think that's Kyle Stewart involved in this.
And he just got towed back to pit road, I believe. Looks like Kyle Stewart actually may have already been in the wall there.
Brandon Pamitat, who just got his damage repaired.
Yeah, let's take a look here. Oh, boy. Oh, hard hit there for Pamitat. Not entirely sure what happened there. 10 was coming in hot. Think he may have locked up the brakes. Just got right into the side of him. Hard hit there for Pamitat. I'll take another look. They're battling here with Sam Taylor. Kyle Stewart looks to go aggressive, tries to go 3 wide, and I don't even think it was a brake lockup yet. I think the 87 was trying to turn into the corner, and the 10 was still trying to pull alongside him. And that disagreement in line led them right into each other at a really vulnerable part of the racetrack.
Could be the final stop of the day with 46 laps to go when we cross the stripe. Carter Lenz leading them down pit road. This should take us to the end of this race with 50% fuel. It should be a tight window, but I think they can make it.
Yeah, this is a big stop here. Don't want to overdo anything. Right side's up here for Lenz. And this is, I mean, very, especially with the amount of cautions we've had, this probably is the money stop. As you see, Dakota Floyd getting ambitious here on the tire call. Quick stop for the 57. He'll be the first car off pit road. Lenz drops the second. Dakota Floyd going for it here. I believe that was a right sides only call for the 57.
And 2 cars stayed out on the racetrack. The 55 of Justin Ritchie, the 27 of Kevin Orlando. They out this time. 18 laps, about 7-8 of those under green here. Be interesting to see if Dakota Floyd can make quick work of the 57 or the 27 and 55. Those 2 tires could be advantageous. Come back to bite them, though, if we race a lot of this under green. And could also, you know, the restarts, wheel spin, No, temperature's still pretty high here. Track temp has come down about 9 degrees from where we started. But 95-degree track temp. Left side tire still hot. Alex, I think that could create a situation, especially into the dogleg.
Oh, absolutely. It could create a situation into the dogleg. Having those uneven tire temps, especially not even having the luxury of having clean air in front of you. Sure, you have the track position over the 66, but you still got to clear these two guys in front of you. So puts the 57 in a really off-balance situation here. And Dakota Floyd's very good, but also we've seen even the best of drivers, sometimes these conditions get the better of you because it's just so unlike anything that you've run in the previous 112 laps here.
So no tires, 2 tires, and 4 tires. Green flag back underway. Big jump here for the 55 of Richie. Call's going to take it 3 wide into the dogleg.
Looks like they're going to try to make this pass here in the 1. Not going to work. Dakota Floyd going to jump out the second. Call going to settle in the third. And Kevin Orlando Jr. has already dropped the 4th, which has shuffled up this lead group a bit. Carter Lynn's trapped right now, I believe.
Oh,
contact!
Oh,
he got contact. He got a push from Roeder that went bad into the wall. Goes to 66. Oh, and somehow we stay green. I thought he would have been in the racing line. Guess not. Oh, that is a heartbreaker there for Carter Lynn, and I'm sure he is not going to be happy about it because he got some help there going into 3. As Dakota Floyd takes the lead away from Justin Ritchie. This is a huge opportunity for the 57.
And the caution's out.
Oh, now the 3's around. Same with the 91. What a sequence.
Michael Reed a few laps down. The last car in the lead lap, Sam Taylor involved in this. There's the spin with Lenz a moment ago. There was contact. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. But here's what brings out the yellow. The 3 locks it up, slides it all the way down. I'm not sure what he was trying to do there.
He was just carrying a whole lot of speed into the corner. Good job initially to kind of keep it in one piece, but unfortunately slid right up into the path there of Reed. And Reed obviously not going to be too thrilled about that one. He was running his line, and all of a sudden the 3 comes sliding up the racetrack from below the apron. So take a look here. This is what happened to Carter Lynn. So Lynn's gets bogged down a little bit here by Kevin Orlando Jr. on those older tires. Falls back into the clutches here of the rest of the pack. And as they go into turn 3, I mean, Rob Roeder just says, see you later, and gives him a push here into the corner. And that push gets him, I think, tangled up there. Maybe was with the 27 or the 64, and around the 66 went. I want to say it was the 64 that he got tangled up with after the push here from Roeder. That's going to be a decent bit of right front damage too.
And the 64 of Ben Laughter actually brought it down pit road after that contact, so he's going to fall back to 21st position. But if you're Dakota Floyd right now, you're loving what you're seeing. You've got one car with 23 laps on the tires. You've got Michael Call, who has 4 tires but has to get around Justin Ritchie, and you're the command car for this next restart. Did what he needed to do.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have scripted it any better there for Dakota Floyd. That worked out really well for the 57. However, now having these restarts, this is where things are going to get tough, especially with how good the 5's been on restarts tonight. Lining up directly behind them. It's going to be a tall order, I think, to keep the 5 at bay, even with some of these cars on older tires mixed in. I mean, it's the complexion of this race, I feel like, has changed very drastically here in about the past minute and a half.
Yeah, compared to the first half and the first stage of this race, caution free all the way through. Now we've kind of been plagued with cautions. 11 total here with 5 lead changes. Jeremy Burns, of course, your stage 1 winner. He's back in 6th. This is the furthest back we've seen the 9 car. Jacob Sirkovich has moved up. You've got Caleb Gilbert up 30 positions to 4th. Back underway here at Phoenix.
Looks like a decent launch here for Floyd as they make their way into turn one. Looks like Call, though, going to slide past Justin Ritchie. He'll take that second spot away, no problem. Here comes Caleb Gilbert looking for third. As they are getting side by side behind him, Picklesheimer and Thorpe there. Same deal with Justice Murphy to the inside, of Sirkovich. That's that battle for the 5th spot. A couple of new names here in the top 10 that we haven't talked about as much tonight.
Working out so far. You're watching Burns continue to lose positions, and I think because the race is more favoring the long run pace now, Jeremy Burns showed that he had long run speed, was able to pull away from this field, but he keeps getting buried deeper and deeper, maybe didn't practice for the dirty air, and it's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, he's starting to go the wrong way here. He's gotten some room to rumble here to the outside of Sirkovich, trying to hold on to the 6th spot right now, but easier said than done. Minden is an absolute hornet's nest for about 5th through 12th right now. And this is exactly what you want to see if you're Dakota Floyd. You know, a little bit of room to race, some clean air on the nose of the race car, and a lot of the battling happening behind you and not anywhere near you. That being said, Michael Call, he's clear of Caleb Gilbert, but he's starting to trend the wrong direction here. He's about half a second back and falling further, which I'm a little surprised about, knowing that the 5, I think, is on a 4-tire strategy compared to Floyd. But Dakota Floyd, that clean air working wonders for the 57 right now.
Yeah, and maybe 2 tires is the combination. We haven't seen that a lot yet this season, but granted, we've only had 4 races. 2 of those were at super speedways, the other one at a road course. So maybe Dakota Floyd finally can find his way to victory lane. 35 laps to go from Phoenix Raceway. Half a second lead over the 5.
Starting to stretch that gap out a little bit here. Because now I would say everyone in about the top 8 or so starting to single file out a bit. Fastest car on the racetrack that last time around, I want to say, was the 9 of Jeremy Burns as he works his way up the 4th here against Paz Ritchie. Ran a 26.7. Not the 8.4 that iRacing thinks that he ran that last lap. That's a bit of a connectivity issue. It was a 20-something 7 compared to the 20-something 8.
26.795 was the number I had there.
Yeah, so he was about a 10th faster, but it's getting physical bad here between Thorpe and Forget. They're really getting into it.
Yeah, Thorpe bounced the wall there off the exit of 2, came down into the 19. 19 was able to keep it off the wall. He'll get back to the inside. This is for the top 10.
Yeah, some big points up for grabs here, trying to get the right direction. It's been a very up and down day for Alex Forget, let me tell you. We've seen that 19 around. Oh!
33.
Picklesheimer trying to save it. Looks like he's going to. Oh.
He got 3 wide and got around. He was trying to make a pass on Ritchie. They'd went 3 wide with Sirkovich in the middle. Then he tagged the apron into 1.
Yeah, and it nearly bit him. It was a good save there from the 33, but he's certainly going to need to take a second, get the heart rate back down, and realize, okay, not the end of the world, still in the top 10, still in the hunt here. Just got to cool down the tires a little bit and get back to work, as they are 3 wide in front of him now. Thorpe, Sirkovich, Ritchie. And that is leaving nowhere to go here for Forget or for Picklesheimer. He's going 4 wide. Oh, boy.
Gonna go out wide here. This is a 7th place back. Rest of the top 10 is checked out from this battle. Sirkovich still trying to complete the pass.
Looks like he will now, so he takes over that spot. He's now up to 7th, Thorpe's in 8th. They'll start to single file out a little bit. And You know, they're starting to finally find their bit of real estate out here. Something that I'm keeping an eye on, though, is that battle for the lead got a good bit closer over that last lap or so. Went from half a second to a quarter of a second. Michael Call starting to reel in Dakota Floyd a little bit, and they are opening up a gap to Caleb Gilbert in third. So this right now between the 57 and the 5 very well may be the battle for the race win as things stand.
And it's spreading out the way it has. 1 full second back to third. 2/10 separate the 5 and the 57. Going through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Call with a very good 1 and 2 there. Gonna get right up to the back bumper here into 3. We know Call's had great restart speed. The question is, we haven't really had a chance to see him in clean air to show off any sort of long run speed. Is this going to be the opportunity here? Does he have something to get by Floyd? Gets those tires just below the apron, helps that car hook the racetrack just a little bit. He's looking for it, but every time he looks for it and it doesn't work, it's pulling Caleb Gilbert and Jeremy Burns just a little bit closer.
There it is. It's still going on from 10th on back. They haven't figured it out yet.
Might be the best battle on the racetrack that we've seen all night, is this battle for about anywhere from 8th to 14th. Now it's Matt Robinson who's trying to work his way back into the picture here. The points leader with a bit of an up and down day. He's now just outside the top 10 looking for more. Nick Alves, Tyler Harrison battling here for position as well as they almost get into each other.
Harrison took tires on that last stop, and I kind of questioned it initially. I was afraid this race would have a couple more cautions to keep him from being able to advance with these when, you know, 4 tires doesn't do you much good when you're pacing, but he gets a run there, gets around Nick Alves. He's going to take it a little bit high here into 3, trying to figure out a way around the 11.
Yeah, that's easier said than done because the 11's trying to figure out a way past Forget or Picklesheimer here, and they're trying to figure out their way past Thorpe by Cirkovich. Everyone's kind of all bogged down right now trying to battle this out. 3 wide just ahead of this. There's Robinson all the way up against Picklesheimer. Thorpe was down there for a minute as well as they're trying to sort it out. Big move from Harrison as he'll dive to the inside in 3.
Timed that perfectly. Gonna get a 2-for-1 special here through 3 and 4. Cut the dog leg, no contact. Lots of contact between the 45 and the 33, but they keep it straight to the top 10.
Yeah, that was just a classic disagreement of thinking that the car on the inside is going to take the dog leg. So the 33 was trying to get down there as well. And Harrison was really not trying to take that much of it. So the 2 make contact. Luckily, they keep it pointed forward. Keep themselves moving at a good speed here. Neither of them lost any positions, or at least nothing major. They'll battle here for the 10th and 11th spot. We're on board with Matt Robinson right now. In that 9th position, the points leader looking on back to the 45.
The battle for the lead is lengthened back out to a full half second. While we've been watching this battle back here for 7th, 8th position, missed shift here for the 11, and that'll allow the 45 to dive again for another spot.
Meanwhile, Forget and Cirkovich just in front of them. They're getting a good battle going here for the 7th spot. All of this happening about a half second back of Parker Johnson up in 6th. So this is where the battle's at right now. The 19 trying to roll the outside. Think he's going to get it. Robinson going to try to follow him through, and he will. Cirkovich, they're going to drop 2 spots basically in 1 straightaway. He's going to keep fighting Robinson, but I think he's going to lose an end to that battle right now.
Looking off the back of Alex Forget in 7th. About 1.2 seconds to Parker Johnston in 6th. If these guys continue to battle, they lose ground. It's a full second to the lead. Dakota Floyd is checked out. If this race stays green, it's his.
Yeah, this is working out really good right now for the 57. The only question mark is really going to be how those left sides are holding up in the last little stretch of the race here, because they have been they've run a significant amount of laps on them, but a lot of them have been under pacing. So his 24 laps and counting starting to rise here as the gap now over a second. Gilbert, Burns, though, have all found each other on the racetrack. If the 54 and the 9 are able to pass the 5, I'm curious to see if any one of them tries to use this little bit of clean air, being a second back, to try to reel in the 57 a bit. Obviously easier said than done, but interested to see. Is now Robinson, that 11 has really come to life here in the closing stage of this race. Haven't really talked about it much all night, and now here he is running 6th or 7th.
Still a long road for about a full second. Parker Johnston up ahead. Justice Murphy with a big gap. And Jeremy Burns going to thought he was making a move there off of 4. See that deficit continue to fall. He's going to take it to the outside in 1.
Yeah, I think both the 54 and the 9 realize that if they're going to make something happen here, they got to find a way to clear call sooner rather than later. Because clearly something's up with Michael Call's machine right now as it continues to fall further back from the race leader. Some connectivity issues here right now for the 54 of Caleb Gilbert. That is certainly not ideal in a battle here between 3 cars in the top 5.
All right, Alex, had to pour myself another draft here for these last 15 laps.
Well, it is the Busch Light Lounge after all. This is the place to be tonight. Hope you all are having a good time at home as much as we are up here in the booth bringing you this one in the closing laps. And, you know, while we're watching this battle for 2nd through 4th, they continue just to bleed a little bit of time here to the race leader, Dakota Floyd, who has put himself in perfect position here with 15 to go.
You see the gap back there as Call is actually pulled away a little bit from Gilbert. Readjusted that line. Gilbert continues to have a little bit of a connection issue. Hopefully for Gilbert, he can stay out on the racetrack. But if you're Jeremy Burns right now, you're terrified to pass this car.
Yeah, you really, honestly, you really can't, because at any given moment, you might think he's not there. Car disappears, you go for the spot, he comes back, and he's right next to you. And I do know Racing Rep does have a rule as far as connectivity issues are concerned if it becomes too much of a problem. I think because of how spread out the field is right now, it may be less so, but definitely something I'm sure they're keeping an eye on. Here's the onboard with the 9 of Jeremy Burns. Pole sitter. He's led a good bit of laps and currently running in the top 5, but trying to find that last little bit of speed he needs to get back up to the front here with just over 10 to go.
We need to call up Xfinity Wi-Fi. Find some speed there for the 54, whatever the connection issue might be.
I mean, he was just fully gone there from the start-finish line all the way to 1. That is not a great situation to be in. But, you know, I mean, as they run, they're continuing to put distance, though, over Justice Murphy. So these guys are really kind of in a little world of their own right now. Justice Murphy about 3.7 back at the leader, about 2 seconds back of that battle as things are heating up here now for 6th as Robinson and Harrison have caught Parker Johnston. And it's a 3-car battle for 6th here. Add Forget to the mix as well. Don't look now, but Jeremiah Nelson, what a rally it's been for the 31. He's back into the top 10 now.
Deacon 3 wide into 1 and 2. Harrison cuts him a break for the time being, but 10 to go here when we cross the stripe. And yeah, Jeremiah Nelson was up in the top 10 in stage 1, was up in the top 10 at the beginning of stage 2. I think botched a pit stop. Something happened to put him all the way back in 25th position at one point in this race. And he's racing in the top 10 now, trying to get around Tyler Harrison.
Yeah, it's a good battle going on here. 3 wide now. Nelson just looking to the inside. Nothing going. He slides back to the wall. Harrison and Johnston battling for the 8th spot right now. And all of this is getting stacked up behind the 11 of Matt Robinson, who's now up to 6th. As Caleb Gilbert.
It finally gave up, I think.
Yeah, I believe it finally did.
No, he came back for a second there.
Oh, boy. This is not great, to say the least. I mean, he is fully, like, disconnecting to a point of he's dropping down the timing table. And then occasionally he keeps popping back where he is. And if you're Jeremy Burns, I mean, I don't even know what you do at this point.
It finally disconnected him, I believe.
He was fighting it for a few laps there.
That's unfortunate. Gilbert with a top 3. And the ISP just not cooperating. Call trying to catch up. And now with nothing between him but the blinking Caleb Gilbert, I think bought the 5 some time. Jeremy Burns can go full offense now.
He certainly can, but he really doesn't have any time to do anything. I mean, yeah, he's 2 seconds back with only 6 laps to go. He might be able to get second here from Call. I would be floored if he has anything, though, for the race leader. I mean, Dakota Floyd, masterclass here in the final stage. Takes the 2 tires, gets the track position. A caution falls his way to restart first with a car on old tires to his outside. And he just checked out, man. He is flying right now.
In the chat, Amatat cleared from the concussion protocol. We'll be back next week. A lot of camera time with you on pit road trying to repair that car. Just nothing going your way today. But I can tell you, it's going the way of Dakota Floyd. This could be his first win in his history at Racing Revolutions. It's taken 3 seasons in the Chapman Cup Series. And Dakota Floyd, without, it's not lack of trying. He's been close several times. How many second place finishes has this 57 car had? He's got the lead with 5 to go.
Yeah, no, he's been absolutely unreal. I mean, finishing in the top 10 over 20 times last season and just was not able to bring home a win. Was definitely not for lack of trying, but, if things hold for a couple more laps, it'll finally go his way for the first time, and it'll be a well-deserved one for sure.
Tyler Harrison found his way to the top 5. How about that? He's taking the 31 with him. They get by the 12 of Justice Murphy. The tires have paid off. And with 4 to go, the 45 is going to get a top 5.
Well, I wouldn't say that just yet. Oh, I guess I would. I was going to say he's now in 4th. Because Jeremiah Nelson's also coming with a full head of steam here, but that would be the battle for 4th and 5th here a couple laps ago. That 31 and the 45, both of them. Great job of kind of recovering here late to pull off some a good run. Say the same thing. I mean, Murphy's been fast all day. Great rebound from Robinson. Bennett, Allison, Forget. Forget's had a wild up and down day, but trying to hold on to this spot here with a few laps to go. He's got Ben Lafter just behind him, I think, trying to take that spot away. It's been a fun race kind of throughout the field here. A lot of battling at any given point here. Not always in the same spot, though. We have had an opportunity to kind of bounce around the field here. And Call might lose second here to Burns in a moment. They are right next to each other.
Closing laps, 2 to go. Dakota Floyd wants that white flag up in the air. A look to the inside for the 90 or the number 9 on the 5, but it's one more time around. Presented by Earhart Homes. Love where you live. And this could finally be it. I think we're gonna say it. It's officially it. Dakota Floyd into 1 and 2. 1 mile to go to make history. The 57 has been close so many times, and finally he can call himself victorious. A winner. First time, 57, Dakota Floyd gets it done. Race 4 at Phoenix.
Great call on pit road. Got that track position, didn't look back. And for the first time, I believe, will be a winner here in the Chapman Cup Series. Came very close last year. 16 top 5s last season with no wins to show for it. He was always quick, just never the quickest. And today, played it right. What a win for Dakota Floyd.
I would assume this burnout's going to last quite a while.
So here comes your podium picture. It looks like the 9 and the 5 had a fun little battle going at the end here. Very, very fast top 3, but all for different reasons. Call had great restart speed. The 9 had great long run speed. And Dakota Floyd, I mean, he just played the back half of this race perfectly.
Now going to burn it down on the front stretch. The 57 of Dakota Floyd. Congratulations to this entire team for finally putting it together. It's like it ran out of fuel.
No, there we go. Now it's come to life a little bit. Oh, well, maybe not. Wow, he had 3 seasons to do that burnout, and a little puff of smoke is all we got.
Here, let's see if we can make it last a little bit longer.
Yeah, we'll put it in super slow motion here. We'll see how long we can get it in 1/16 of a second. And just like that, I think that's about it. Let's see if we can bring him in and ask him about it.
All right, let's try to get as close as we can here, and pull Dakota Floyd. He's somewhere. There he is. Dakota Floyd. It's Bradley Cooper, Alex Gagnon in the broadcast booth, and we're finally talking to you. You couldn't roll this thing to victory lane. You had all these runner-up finishes. You finally get to win one, and you have no fuel left.
Nope. It really sucks to not be able to do a burnout on my first win, but that doesn't matter. Yeah, it was fun. It just feels good to finally be able to pull it off.
Dakota, we go back through this race, and how many times have you been in a situation you're leading the race and we have, under 20 to go, you take the lead away, and then a caution comes out and that 2-tire strategy doesn't end up working out. I mean, you made it happen tonight.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times that ended up burning me with everyone being able to take 2 on the last 10 laps, and then I'm kind of stuck in track position. But I'm just really, really happy this race went green when it did, because that could have really come back to bite me once again.
All right, well, we're going to put it in super slow motion here to make this burnout look a lot longer than it was. But Dakota, congratulations on the victory. I know that you put in a lot of time. You've improved way more than, I remember racing with you and racing side by side with you. I don't even think I can hang with you anymore. But you've been out here for 3 seasons now, coming up on season 6. How does this feel confidence-wise, knowing you have the goods, you can get it done?
Well, I think normally how it goes for me, once I finally break that dam, the wins start coming after that. So I think the confidence is going to go up, especially going into some tracks I really enjoy. So I'm really hoping to open the floodgates on this one, maybe get 2 or 3 more, but I'll keep the expectations tempered so I don't get too disappointed. But we're looking good for the playoffs so far.
Again, congratulations on the victory. 16-1 Motorsports stamped on the car. I know the team name a little bit different over here in Racing Rev, but who do you have to shout out for the first win here?
I definitely got to shout out the Vspeed guys. This is our going in early of our second season here, and I know last season we had a lot of ups and downs, and man, it feels really good to race with those guys. We keep trying to do better for each other every week, so I really can't thank those guys enough for how much they support me and how much we support each other as a team. Really just shout out to the league. It's been some tough sledding, but once you start to learn how everybody drives, it's a really good league to race in, especially once you're up front battling some of these really fast guys. So I really appreciate these guys a lot, and thanks to the admins for everything they do for Racing Rev. Thanks Chapman Environmental is the main title sponsor for everything they do to keep things going here and get the broadcast up for us. And thanks Vspeed and you guys for putting on awesome broadcasts every week, and thanks to everyone that supports me.
We just lost the feed there, so we're going to try to fix that as best we can, but we appreciate you coming up here and talking to us. Dakota Floyd, race winner here, week number 4 at Phoenix. We'll see you next week at Vegas.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful night.
There you go. History was made, and he said it was 2 seasons. I feel like he ran a limited schedule there at the end of season 4, so I can't 100% confirm, but I want to say he was on the racetrack at least once before he went full-time. It's good to see, though, a guy that I watch multiple times a week, Alex. He races on Saturdays. He's raced on Tuesday nights. He's been kind of all over the place here on Vspeed. No stranger to having him up in the booth. Dakota Floyd finally getting it done.
Yeah, and I mean, deserving win as well. I mean, that was, it wasn't like he kind of like fell into it. He went out there and took it in the last 40 laps there. Fantastic stuff, and a long time coming for sure here in the Chapman Cup Series.
We're going to take a quick commercial break while we round up the rest of your top 3 and bring those final race results. You are watching the Chapman Cup Series live from Phoenix. More coverage will continue of the Busch Light Lounge 250 in just a moment.
Racing. We're in the game.
Gentlemen, start your engine!
Hey Dad, did you know that replacing your cooling system reduces repair costs and improves energy efficiency? Plus, it operates more efficiently, which means more money in my pocket. I mean, your pocket.
Hey Dad, did you know that a new cooling system is less noisy and has a smart thermostat you can control from your phone?
How'd you get so smart?
Must be from Mom.
When it comes to your home's most important decisions, make the smart choice and trust your local Cedar Rapids Pro partner. We're in your neighborhood, so call today.
Back here live at Phoenix Raceway, where Dakota Floyd found his way to victory lane for the first time, and I say 3, he says 2. I think it's 3. So I'm going to say 3 seasons. You would probably know better than me, but, you know, I see him so much on the racetrack, I'm just going to say 3. It's Jeremy Burns who ends up runner-up. He did make that last lap pass on Michael Call. Final race results up on the screen. Your Stage 1 winner is going to end up in second position. Michael Call with the top 3. Bad fast car in the 5. We'll get the word with those drivers in just a moment. Tyler Harrison raced his way all the way up to 4th position. Took 4 tires there on that last stop and raced his way from around 18th position all the way up to 4th in those last 40 laps. Jeremiah Nelson improves and brings his car back to where he was racing most of the night, and he'll finish in 5th. Justice Murphy got trailed down but ends up top 10. Matt Robinson in 7th. And then it was just calamity from here on back with Michael Bennett, Nick Alves, Alex Forget, Berube. These cars never stopped racing next to one another for pretty much the entirety of the end of that last stint.
Yeah, that was a great battle from about 6th on back through 12th or 13th. So we'll take a look back here to the 11th through 20th group. Ben Lafter will bring it home 11th. Good rebound after a tough start there. He goes from 32nd to 11th, just ahead of Kevin Orlando Jr. in that 12th spot. Brandon Richardson, an up-and-down day, but he'll net a 13th place finish. Grant Turner finishing 14th, just ahead of Parker Johnson. Rob Rader had a very tumultuous day. He'll bring it home 16th, just ahead of Grant Thorpe in the 17th position. Carter Linz will finish 18th, just ahead of Sam Taylor. And Malcolm Simpson running out the top 20.
21st spot's going to go to Justin Ritchie, 1 lap down. Dylan Picklesheimer a lap down as well in the 33. Jacob Sirkovich 2 laps down. There is the 81 of Muniz in 24th position. 25th is going to go to Caleb Gilbert. Connection issue there in the last 9 laps, and he'll end up outside of that podium where he was going to end up. Michael Reed, damage on that car, came back onto the racetrack, spun again. He'll end up 9 laps down, 26th position. Trevor Earhart caught up in a lot of things here today. He'll finish 27th. Then you have Fred Pennington. There's Pamatat in the 87. Concussion protocol cleared for Vegas in 2 weeks. Then you have Kyle Stewart in 30th position.
And rounding out the rest of the field here, it'll be Joe Joya, Trevor Keith, John Fike, Al Likens, Daniel Holloway, and Kyle Diaz, the rest of the field here tonight.
Early exit there for Kyle Diaz, but that's going to do it there for your post-race results. It's time to talk to the rest of your top three. We talked to your winner, Dakota Floyd, who got his first win. It's time to move on to your second place finisher. Jeremy Burns and Alex Gagnon has caught up to the driver of the number 9.
Hey there, Jeremy Burns. This is Alex and Bradley up in the Vspeed booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, it was, we saw you basically in the top 3 or 4 the entire night. Put it on pole, led a bunch of laps early, and then seems like you got caught back in traffic a little bit here, and then was just trying to fight your way back to the front the rest of the night. Is that a fair assessment of how your night went, or how would you feel about how this evening went for you?
I mean, the car felt great when it was in clean air, but as soon as you got behind somebody, it started plowing, and you were really forced to drive where they weren't, so it was just so difficult to make a pass. But overall, really, really pumped to win the stage and finish second. You know, you're one spot off from a max points day, and that's exactly what you have to do in this format. Car was definitely a little tight there, but I was also fighting being short on fuel there, so just trying to save while I had it. And unfortunately for Caleb, I thought that he was just going to, stay in front of me, but he kind of got a latency issue. So come home second, get past call there in the last lap. So just try and maximize it. But overall as a team, we did phenomenal this week. Had a lot of practice. So just really proud of the effort, and, great to see Metroplex back on the podium.
Yeah, and I would love to ask you a little bit about that. So when the closing stage is there, you're running 4th, Caleb Gilbert running 3rd. He starts having those connectivity issues. Is that a moment as a driver where you're like, all right, I'm going to try to let this settle down a second to figure out, if it's actually good to try to make a pass here? Or was it a matter of just like, still trying to go for it and just kind of have to guess where he was going to be?
I mean, in this format, you have to get everything that you can, right? I mean, look at Rob lap 2. He goes up there and we get into one another, and he's just fighting so much, right? So in this instance with Caleb, he's blinking, but you kind of just have to guess where he's at. And at the same time, Cole and I are in the same voice chat wondering where he's at. So, it sucks that he had to be taking a pit road, but I will say for iRacing, that's a very good feature that they added. And I think that's going to help the league in general police that matter, and it's going to be constant. It's going to be consistent across the board. So as much as it sucks for Caleb, it just, I'm glad that it turned out to be okay for us in the end.
And, you have the win last week, runner-up finish this week. Feels like after, the tough start of the season with Daytona, it feels like you're very much back in the swing of things here over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just overall, we're going to be 4th coming out of here points. So just really glad to rebound after the super speedways, and, we'll look to get after it in Vegas.
All righty. Well, Jeremy, anyone you'd like to shout out here tonight?
Yeah, shout out my mom and dad, Josie, Sonny, my grandma, Miss Betsy, Julie, Derek, Caroline, Shannon, Belinda, Betty, Colleen, Tommy, Chrissy, Dana, and Dylan. Shout out Steve as well. Rolling Thunder and Lightning Fast. Like I said, we were all bad fast today, and just overall as an organization finished really well. Metroplex, of course, for being on the hood, Engineering Power Systems, Chapman Environmental, Buck Kicker, Coastal Financial, Ultimate Exterior Light, and Aaron Holmes, all about bugs. You all up here at Vspeed as well. And the admins and everybody else in the league, they did a phenomenal job tonight. And for a tricky and hot track, I felt like we put on a pretty good show. So with that being said, we'll take it into the bye week and start preparing for Vegas.
All righty. Well, Jeremy, congrats on the runner-up finish tonight. Congrats on the good points day for you and the team. And we will catch you next week, or 2 weeks from now, I believe, in Vegas.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
And that is driver of the 9, Jeremy Burns, who brings it home second place here tonight.
One final driver to talk to here, and it's your third place finisher, Michael Call, in the number 5. And Michael, I got to say, you had a bad, fast number 5 car here tonight. I've seen you have some glimpses of speed throughout these seasons. You've had some podium finishes, but man, I think this car tonight, the way you were driving it, it had the potential to go up there and snag a victory.
Yeah, first off, I want to say congrats to Dakota. That's really cool. Man, I couldn't decide if I wanted to take 2 or 4 on that final stop, and I just went with the safe bet and took 4, and that's what won him in the race. That's what won him the race. So, congrats to him. It was a good pit call. He was fast all night too. He ran the top 5 with us. So, no, we were fast. I struggle here a little bit, burning the right front off, and it kind of hurt me later in the runs. But I was able to manage it enough, and yeah, no, we weren't bad.
Not bad at all. And running up there in the front, you got by Carter Lenz and led some laps. You led 16 of them to be exact. And it seemed like every time there was a restart, the lead was up for grabs.
Yeah, that's just the way this place kind of races with that dog leg. If the leader, if you're starting on the outside and you can time it correctly, you kind of have the advantage getting into 1 and 2 because I could just roll the middle and hold them down on the exit of the corner. That's how I got by Carter, and then was really just trying to manage the race from there, and we just kept getting caution after caution, and then that led to the final pit stop that really sealed the deal. And yeah, no, I mean, it was fun. It was great. Racing was good. I kind of wish we didn't have so many cautions, but that's how it goes.
Well, Michael, I think this race kind of carries on. We're going to stay in the desert. We're going to stay on the western side of the country. In 2 weeks' time, we're going on to Las Vegas. We're going to gamble a little bit. What do you think is in store for us when we go to the 1.5 mile at Las Vegas?
Yeah, 1.5 miles I feel are kind of my forte. And with the speed I've shown here and really the speed I showed at the end of the playoffs last year, I've tried to carry that over with a new team, with Rolling Thunder Racing and Stormcloud Motorsports with Lightning Fast Motorsports, and just really just tried to stay locked in all season. And when the new points format, I'll take a P3, especially at a racetrack that I do kind of struggle at a little bit. I feel to myself, I struggle a little bit. So no, I'm excited for Vegas. We'll see how the new aero updates and the new tire updates, if that changes the way that place races. But no, I'm excited.
Appreciate you coming up here and talking to us. It's been a long 6 seasons as we're on our 6th year, and getting you up here on the podium. Congratulations again. Anybody want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out the league, first of all. Like I've said every time I get on an interview with you guys, best ran league on iRacing, hands down. You guys for the absolute incredible broadcast, and you personally, Bradley, for working with me on the media side of things for the Racing Revolution media, and Power Curve, Wards Concrete, SK Construction, Rolling Thunder Motorsport Racing, Stormcloud Motorsports, just everybody that really works hard during the week. We put in a lot of work as a team, all 8 of us in our collab we've got. So I appreciate all of them, and yeah, we'll see you guys in Vegas.
Right, Michael Call, 3rd place finisher here tonight at Phoenix. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
See ya.
Well, there you have it. Final race interviews, our final race results, and it was a good one here. Phoenix Raceway, and you know what? I'm going to put this graphic up because, well, why not? I already made the mistake and said it once, so I'll say it again. What do you think of that? It's not the 18th, the 25th.
No, it is not. Yeah, March 25th
Yeah.
is. Yeah, March
I had to put
25th.
it up there.
It's tough when you have a league that meets as consistently as the Chapman Cup Series. When there is a week off, it is so easy to not process the fact that there is off because they're on Wednesdays
Every night.
so
Every
often.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
From now until November. Forever.
Yeah. Yeah, between now and November, I think they only have 5 weeks maybe they're not racing. So it's yeah. Here's the schedule. March 25th. Las Vegas is the next one. So 2 weeks from now, same time, same channel, same drivers as always. It's going to be a fun one. Just, skip a week and we'll get there on the 25th.
Championship night going back to Homestead, Miami, as it should be. But we come off here at Phoenix Raceway with another new winner. 4 races, 4 winners in the new points format for season number 6. We hope you enjoyed tonight's action. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Want a little metric here, Alex?
Always.
66% of you that watch these broadcasts are not subscribed to the channel.
What?
Is it as easy as hitting that button? It helps us out tremendously, and it will thank and justify our existence. Big shout out to Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, and my co-host Alex Gagnon for everything he does. Stay tracking, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks' time.